Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Bridgette Frazier stops by today's show to talk about her candidacy for the upcoming Beaufort County Board of Education District 9 election and her platform. Bridgette, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So talk a little bit about Bridgette Frazier. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I was born in Charleston, but I'm a Low Country native. We moved to Bluffton when I was about 3 or 4. And have always been educated in Beaufort County public school systems. I graduated from Hilton High School in 2001 and left from there. Went to South Carolina State where I got my undergrad and had a job offer to go to Atlanta or West Palm Beach, and been to Atlanta too many times, and I was 21. I said, let's do something different. So I went to West Palm and was there for about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there for 10 years and was missing home.
Yeah.
There's nothing like living, in the Low Country area. So I decided to come back home and try to be an asset in the community.
Wonderful. So why do you believe you're the more qualified candidate for the job?
Well, in looking at the current makeup of the board, there are no current classroom teachers or anyone with recent classroom experience. And it's kind of odd because if you look at a hospital or medical board, it's gonna be comprised or have a makeup of some medical professionals. And so a lot of the decisions that are being made aren't really being made with the consideration of someone who's actually seen these things into practice. Because everything that sounds good in theory doesn't always work well in practice. And so with having, that type of insight, I think it'd be kind of invaluable to have me
as an educator, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And so what do you believe are some of the, greatest challenges facing education today? And there's more than one, I'm sure.
There's certainly more than one. One of the things definitely that I see is that we should be preparing our kids for a global society, because this is where we are now. Everything's technology based. We're on to innovation, but our classrooms are set up the way they were in 1950s,
right,
when Rockefeller needed people to go out into office jobs and be secretaries and do desk jobs. Well, we don't have that anymore, and right, so what I'd like to see is classrooms actually make or begin to model themselves after the world that we're supposed to be preparing our children for. Not necessarily sitting behind a desk all day, writing on paper, turning things in. If we're going to be this global technological society, let's actually make our kids equipped and prepared for that. And then one of the challenges I also see is when it comes to just some of the basic things. Reading is an ever-present problem. You look at our achievement gap, it's over 40% between African American students and their counterpart. And so while we have a lot of positive things, that we can mention and applaud, there's still some gaps, some things, we need to work on. And
what do you feel about the funding that's going on right now for schools?
Well, the current funding, I see that Beaufort County has done a great job with that, in having schools, and the funding for it is based off of property taxes and other things, and there is that penny sales tax initiative, which I'm not opposed to. One of the things that I've said on my website is, though, what I'd like to see is a clear, transparent format of what the money is going to be used for. Sure. I don't think taxpayers should just be expected to kind of sign off on things without being able to even give some input as to how their money is going to be spent. And
expectations
so,
of
exactly.
That money, so before that money.
Exactly. Before I agree to it, I would like to definitely see something like that take place.
So how can you be reached, and talk a little bit about the voting and when people have to vote for the election?
I can be reached. My website is www.electbfrazier.com. I also have a Facebook page. If they just type in Bridgette Frazier for Beaufort County Board of Education, they can find me there. And my phone number, email, everything's attached.
And we'll have all that on the screen as well.
Great.
So when is the election?
November the 8th. It's going to be the same time as the presidential election.
Okay, so two very important election races on that
day. Very.
Okay, Bridgette, thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And we thank you so much for joining us on today's Talk of the Town.